Simoy in a 1v1 on Rondo. As he's flanking out now, looking for some positioning. Indonesia taking this fight pretty similar to how I would say the Philippines like to take theirs. So seems to be kind of a modus operandi for some of these Southeast Asian teams.
Yeah, I love how Indonesia are the aggressors here. Like when I look at a hot drop, what I always like to look at is the positions of the teams. Indonesia have tried to choke out Spain, so they've surrounded them on all sides, whereas Spain have all grouped on one spot. There's pros and cons. If Indonesia get the first knock, they can really put the pressure on the Spain. However, with them playing the way they are, if Spain get the first knock, that player's done. You're so isolated from the rest of your team that you're out. So Simoy right now is the one to keep an eye on, as he has gone all the way around the northeast side of Hopan.
This is Special Agent Teddy trying to sneak his way through. And he, so far, I believe, is undetected. He's been really careful about not making noise. Simoy just waiting to get some confirmation, potentially, on where the positions of the players from Spain are. Some shots ring out. Teddy not going to move a muscle, though. As we look over to France, who's by Philippines. This is horrible for France. Algin bots, no problem. Headshot onto Nedix, and that is not the player you want to be losing here.
The cavalry's coming in too. Here comes Tentrip. So France have got to deal with Algin bots quick. Now he's done the smart thing. He's retreated down the hill on the side that there's some pressure on. I think Turkey might get an angle on that fight as well, but we'll jump back to Ho-Ran as we see Teddy almost finding that knock onto Demolizer, and maybe with a bit more aggression, a bit more speed and purpose, he'll be able to find that one. And it looks like France, they've given up on Nedex. I think that's the right thing to do, just because of the terrain and because of how much stay here longer could impact your late game. They've done the right thing. They've fallen back, they've given up the kill, and Tentrip confirms it with Algin bots with a great spray got the knock.
Balzac maybe had a brief window there where he could have done some damage, but Kalb's inside of his vehicle, not going to take any. Circling around, and so far it seems like this one's going to eventually just come to a settle, an agreement between France and the Philippines that, okay, you guys get that one, we get the north, you get the south. Let's draw that line of demarcation for now, although that knock came through for Trick. Problems for Spain.
Arbafax just picking, he can't really get the read. Does spray through the smoke, it does a ton of damage onto Trick, but not enough to get that vital knock. Teddy will get the knock onto Shadow Echo, and now things looking really bad for Spain. A 3 versus 2 of standing players. Explicit, he's not going to get rezzed anytime soon. He's up on top of the roof line, but all the longer this goes on, the more this is impacting these teams' ability to get more points in the late game, because all the action is happening elsewhere in the circle. Teddy gets another good knock onto Arbafax, and Nate is thrown up, but Teddy avoids it.
Oh, and it's GG. Teddy did a great job up on that roof. He was so patient there against Arbafax. I think he saw him, immediately looked to find where that last player of Spain was before he tried to take another fight. Now, he couldn't find him, so he had to fight it anyway, but he was being really patient, and he's able to relay that information over to his teammates too, being like, I know where these guys are at, keep collapsing, I'll stay safe, and we'll find our moment to fight. That was so well coordinated.
Yeah, and the thing about it is they didn't even need the recall system. That's how clean they were in that battle. As we turn our attention to Malaysia, now, they are in 14th place. They're a long ways off of 8th. They're 30 points away. If they want to dream of qualifying, they need to win this map. They need 20 points. Like, I think a win with 1 or 2 kills is not enough. They need 20 points here, and that just gives them the chance at a ticket of entry. It guarantees nothing, but it's do or die for them, I think, at this point.
I agree. It has to be huge games, multiple huge games for Malaysia. So we'll see if they can get it started. Goni, SKS in hand. They're doing a little bit of a bridge camp. I think seeing that kill feed, maybe just reading that Indonesia might wrap this way after winning that battle against Spain. So we have a chance here to get ourselves some much needed points, get a little confidence, get a little pride. Chinese Taipei just gonna split up 2-2. Around those mountains, just looking to get a little info and looking to survive in this one. That's their MO.
And I looked at this, and I was looking at that bridge camp from Japan, and I was saying to myself, with the drops that Japan and some other teams have, I don't see Indonesia going to try to cross that bridge. And they've done exactly that. They've got the pickup because they've realized with the flight path we have, any one of these bridges could be danger for us to cross. So let's get up into the air. We can get up on top of one of those mountains because we should have plenty of loot now after dealing with Spain. I like this decision by Indonesia, and it takes a lot of the risk out of the decision as well.
Absolutely. I agree. This is a wonderful option that's available for some of these teams. I wonder if Japan
So four
is even
teams
going to
remain
shoot
in
at
the
us
match
and fly
fight.
right over them. Let's see if they do. There's an opportunity here for Japan, honestly, to maybe get a freebie. It's hard to shoot players off these things, but it's possible. Are they going to even pull the triggers? No, they're already in cars. They're making the rotate. They know now that that bridge camp isn't going to amount to anything.
And you know what? That's good play for them as well. You know, you realize you're not going to get the bridge camp, so let's move on and take a better position. Let's look at some of those Teddy shots, though. Just the fact that he read that swing to perfection and got Shadow Echo down. Then he takes the high ground. He wins another great fight here. As you see, the player will just peek through the door, and Teddy, once again, look at the reaction time, right? You spot him out. The first shot's he's not even fully ADS'd, and he's already dealt some damage. And then finally, he just peeks up once more, and there you go. Little bit of information and a spray. That is so slippery and brilliant by Teddy.
It is. And the decision there to just hold the trigger down, knowing that his opponent was going to re-peek, or just at least anticipating that's hard to do, to keep your spray that in control for that long, and he's doing a great job of it. Of course, a lot of players at this level very capable of stuff like that. As Poland, 2-2 split, huge 2-2 split for Poland on the map. As you can see, you can't even see the other two members from Cappy's position. Teddy, they're still up in the air. I would assume they were going to take one of those, like, I call them pillars of God, those really tall mountains, but we'll see where they want to go. There's a lot that's already contested in the middle, so not a lot of free real estate available necessarily.
Oh, that's free for Bard. Bard gets those all day, and that's an easy point pickup for Team UK, and boy, do they need it, because that puts them in the top 8. Braxco, look, anybody who knows European PUBG knows that the Germans, no matter what team they're on, love using the gliders to get information, and they're some of the best in the world at doing so. So Braxco, he's going to move in there. There we go. Top 5 points for Rondo the last time around. Germany took great advantage of this map. If they give a good game here and a win, you could safely say they should be in the next week.
For sure, no doubt about it. Them in Thailand love the gliders, so looking forward to, if Germany gets through into that final stage, which is looking pretty good, we get to see a little maybe glider v glider battles. Malaysia making their move pretty quickly here from their position, but this hard shift down to the southwest, really brutal for a lot of these teams to deal with. France is going to make a wide wrap. Indonesia is going to claim a ton of real estate. What a pickup for them in terms of positioning, in terms of information they're going to be able to gather. It looks like they've got some high ground stuff available. So India up on the north side have safety, but they want to claim a little bit more territory.
Yeah, Rupesh will just go a little deeper, and if he finds somewhere that's good and clean and clear, you might just see them all move on to that position. Like Karku's on the move already. Maybe he's going to join them and play that 2-2 split. Team UK, they're rotating now outside the circle. They're going to follow not too far behind France as they move in from that eastern side of the zone. And they're going to find a lot of free real estate as well. They've got a ridge line just as they crest into the circle that they can play. You've got some cover inside the paddy fields. If you go too far, though, that's where you start running into trouble with the likes of Malaysia and even Canada a bit further north.
I love that you say paddy fields. I do really appreciate that. It's great. I love it. All right, over here, India did try to press a little bit further forward, and they haven't really taken much damage, so not the end of the world here at all. You can blow up some of those gas pumps if you so choose. Might be worth doing. Oh, your cars are losing tires here too for India. That's kind of a problem potentially going forward as this game gets further and further on. Poland, a team that is going to not shy away from trying to do damage to you if they can find the opportunity. So now maybe getting a little bit of a better spot. Rupesh trying to reposition the car there. France on the move around the edge of the lake, and they have found themselves even more open space. Plenty to work with. Chinese Taipei ahead.
Yeah, I think India need to pop those, you know, the fuel pumps, the gas pumps themselves. Take any risk of another team using it against you, deal with it, and then move the play on. And I think Poland are smart enough to know if they don't pop it, Poland will use that as an entry a little bit later on. France, though, they've got themselves in this position. I think with 3 players up, it's a good spot to play, because if you lose players, if you get knocked, you've got lots of little crevices and crags that you can hide into and try to maximize points, similar to what we saw Chinese Taipei do in the last map. But look at Braxco. The information he is feeding right now to the rest of the team is so valuable. He can give them all of Japan's next moves before Japan even realize the moves they're making.
Exactly. It allows you to get in those spots to take pot shots, to take sprays at the rotating players. Parachuting down, and Philippines in trouble. You're able to land one, but the other not long for this world. 10 trip gone. Finna gonna clean up that one, and Philippines down to 2 players here. Just trying to survive, I guess, at this point. I mean, look, Philippines, they've done their job for today. They can have a little bit of fun. They can kind of just try to survive, and, well, the circle's going to be favorable to them for now. Up into the northeast, and France, Chinese Taipei making quick rotations. This is actually super important, this battle down in the south.
Yeah, and France are rotating. They're on the move. Pete is inside the garage, and I think that France want it. They're moving now. Pete, he is going to get out of dodge as quick as possible. He's on a bike, so he exposes his back to the team. But France can't land the shot of note, an empty. We'll put in some good covering fire for his teammate to make his way back on in. And you know what? For France, it's all about picking up points. I'd be putting the coupe in the garage, if I'm being honest, with the amount of damage that this one has taken. But you know what? It's better to be able to move everybody, I guess, than just move 2.
I'm a bit worried about that vehicle. If somebody from Malaysia finds an angle and just blows it up, then all of a sudden you're just kind of like stuck in the back there, not really giving yourself a lot of opportunities to go shooting. Shooting, though, is what Teddy has been doing very well this game. He finds another knock, this time on a Mook from Japan. Looking for more damage on a Run AX, but that's the helmet gone. That's the flush found. Germany scooches next to Turkey, losing some players here and there. Both teams, Breck's gone. Turkey losing one as well. Crossberg down. Chris lets loose with a grenade. Not finding much there, as Turkey going to reinforce and try to take this battle square on.
Yeah, 3 players up for Turkey. They're in a bad spot, but Code Marco, he gets a great spray onto Chris, and that's the knock that they need. Now you can see that Mika is up on the high ground with the M, or with the Mini, but I think he's just going to move on out of there, and Norway will try to... How often have we seen Norway and Germany so close together? I love how no matter what the map is, some teams are just magnetized towards each other.
Yeah, it was like yesterday with like Canada and India, just seemed like they were destined to fight no matter what the situation was. You know, that's kind of like a regional thing sometimes too here, where you have similar ideas on how to play the game, similar thought processes on what the options available to you are. How in the world did Philippines get another res to come through? Now you're looking at some damage, and Adam again. Look at that. That is nasty. CJ down and out from the Dragunov.
Have you seen the net result of that kill? Now Canada jump into 6th place from 9th, and with that, Sweden are now pulled into that mix. Now Calb's up on the high ground, will continue dealing damage on, and with the circle being what it is, if I'm Canada, I am hugging that mountain. You don't want to expose yourself to Calbs, and you can use the mountain as cover from elsewhere. Great nades from Cape will find the knock on the Runax, as Japan are in a ton of trouble, and you know what? 3 does not go into 1, and 3 teams cannot share this section of the map.
Oh, Goni there, taking a bunch of damage from the blue zone, had to reposition. Chinese Taipei dropping right on top of Norway. Jeez, there's a player right in front of him. That's just gifted, but as he tries to wrap the corner, he's going to get taken down here. James will get at least 1 point confirmed. He's getting more. My goodness, James absolutely going nuclear right now.
ओ भाई यहाँ तो अलग ही कुटाई हो रहा है भाई. ताइवान वाले क्या मार रहे हैं भाई अभी?
team's cooking the grenade, has two more players to deal with. It's not timed quite right. The drop shot not available either. Chaiwei gets the job done.
2 HP, and we turn our attention back to Poland and Japan. Feven will start throwing his utility to hold back the push. Even though he's not doing damage, he's buying space, buying cover, but 4 players of Poland want to get the damage done. The UK, they're going to play in this dip. Well, they might play the dip, or they might go a little bit further north, but if they play this position, you've 2 allies. In essence, you've got Chinese Taipei and Philippines.
Whoa.
Look at this, Philippines! They're going to drop on down, and they're doing serious damage onto Canada.
This is disaster for
ओ
Canada.
भाई ये देखो फ्रांस आ रही है पोलैंड पे
Philippines were getting there.
वो
Max, Panzer in hand.
Fourth team.
He's a player. Oh, can't find the angle to use it. Finally does. They are
यहाँ पे
gonna
4
get
टीम
one
हो गई है
there
भाई जमा
seemingly. France though getting encroached upon. Grenades
भाई
are
इंडिया
out
को
here.
यहाँ पे
Poland just wipes the board with France.
1 point is all they could manage to muster for the side. Poland up to a couple more kills, 3 for
इंडिया
them.
ने 1 किल निकाला है
Now push towards Sweden.
पता नहीं
Sweden,
किल फिट
Molly
मिस
is
किया मैं
down. Fuzzface has taken almost as much damage as he possibly can. Flash grenades in his face, and Shirley's dealt with Setsuna with the nade, and Sweden now with only hot and spicy.
मैं
left
कब दिखेगा
standing,
किल फिट में यहाँ
and
पे
they
5
are
पे
in
इंडिया का
8th
नाम है
place.
एकदम लाइन से
They're
धड़ाधड़
done. They're done.
स्वीडन खत्म स्वीडन जो इंडिया के पीछे थी वो खत्म जर्मनी भी जा रही है जर्मनी का एक ही बाकी
Losing
है
players to Indonesia who just cannot be stopped. They have all the momentum in the world, and Mika
एक सेकंड मैप देख लेता हूं फटाक से गाइस
कौन
कौन सी टीम है इंडिया जापान पोलैंड
total for Indonesia, and off of a hot drop that they win against Spain, they are just
यार पोलैंड को पॉइंट दे दिया फ्रांस वालों ने भाई
Turkey trying to make a wrap to the north. Nilkop trying to find some kind of info on what Indonesia is doing as they try to really establish themselves.
फिलीपीन वालों को देखो
Why not? Who cares? This is fine for the Philippines. They're just trying to get somewhere. I can't believe nobody's punishing this right now.
हाँ भाई
What in the world is going on?
Oh, Finn is in a bad spot. Finn is in a really bad spot now. This position empty. We'll get a great knock onto Calbs as the Philippines do eventually lose 1 on this rotate inside the circle, but there's still 11 players left. Malaysia now.
Oh,
That
why?
is brilliant. Germans
देख रहे हो क्या
will deal with
क्यों
Finn. Canada fall, and that's even more
Indonesia on
opportunity
fire, हाँ.
for teams to get inside the top 8.
ट्रिक
And
का टीम
look
पागल हो
at
गया
this circle. Our Poland
पिछले गेम में भी पागल हो गया था
better
अभी भी
opportunity to get the win that they so desperately need today.
I don't think so. This is a really good chance for them. Chinese Taipei has to play defense now.
ये तो मर
Tons
गया
of grenades flying
भाई
in.
3 ग्रेनेड
Nowhere
आया
to run,
मुझे
nowhere to hide for Chai Wei. And now Savior once again called upon
Nice.
to be that hero, to be
Yeah,
that
big
solo
deal.
survivor, but that Molly doesn't actually connect with him. How in the world does he dodge that? Actually might have just touched it a little bit later and has to go for the heal. That's going to open up the time and the space that the UK
Yeah.
needs to get this res through. That's going to force Savior out the window. And Michael, great play there. Molly into the finish.
Nobody seems to want it here, Paper. Chinese Taipei fall again. UK, this is how tight it is. They've gone from what, 9th, 10th, up to 6th now with how condensed things are. Turkey,
Zone
still
अभी
up
भी है
with
भाई.
3. Poland the same. Look at this leaderboard right now. Yes,
Oi!
Indonesia are alive, but almost every single other team
टर्की
is
वाला भी
either in the
फायदा
race for
उठा
the
लेता
top
है
8
दो
or in
बंदे
the
को
bottom half
खुले
of the
में
table.
एकदम
Oh man, Code Marco, I thought might be up to something special, but UK ahead of the curve. Now they're trying to fan out, trying to surround Indonesia, getting involved. A little bit of help
Come on
here
यार
to the UK.
boys
They got to be a little bit careful though. To
होल्ड
the
तो
UK.
कर रहे हो
They
यार
go for
लेकिन किल भी
extend.
चाहिए
Might open up some sight lines to Indonesia, so got to play a little bit of contain. Vard, oh T-bone. That is quick. Vard there, 4-2.
Turkey out.
Turkey dealt with. The UK starting to find their footing, starting to find that hope that they're going to be playing tomorrow.
And now they're in 5th. They keep climbing. Another point, and they're in 4th place. This is as tight a PNC. Well, I was going to say a survival stage, but this is their first ever survival stage. But when it comes to these groups and knockout style play, this is as tight as it can be with a couple of games left. Indonesia with control of the north of the circle, but they will have to vie it out with Team UK to get that position. India, they're just going to keep on chilling, right? This is the second time tonight they've been bang on the center of the circle. They didn't win the last
हाँ भाई इंडिया को
one.
2 सेंटर मिला है
Imagine how
पिछले
good
गेम
it
में
would
भी
be
मतलब फर्स्ट
for all
एंगल
the
में
Indian
सेंटर मिला था
fans if their nation is able to take a chicken dinner here at PNC.
I'd love to see it. I really, truly would. I mean, they have played much better this year. That is a fact. And this would be a nice cherry on top for them, to say the least. But they've got some good teams, some good players to deal with. This is one of the sweatiest lobbies I think I've ever seen. It is crazy how hard these teams are playing, how just aggressive they can be, how smart they can be. UK 4 up, a good opportunity to do some damage here. I Am Pete with the AWM wants to stymie their run. Michael taking quite a bit of damage. Indonesia has a phenomenal angle onto the UK's position, and
circle
nobody
ban
is even messing with them really. Ketter thought about it, and he's paying the price.
Bhai, India ko center. Oh my.
A chance, but they might have to make a crash. They might have to make a decision.
ये तीन टीम अभी chill मार रही है यहाँ पे.
Back over with the other two players.
Yeah.
He cannot be on his own there.
Yeah, 100%. I
भाई
agree
सर्कल तो इतना साथ दे रहा है इंडिया का. आज दूसरा गेम है
into
जिसमें
the
इंडिया को
circle now.
इतना ज़्यादा
It's the
साथ दे
crash
रहा है.
that spot of the compound. Now, they might do something different, but with the players they have, if they know that Poof is alone,
కాదు ఆ దీపక్ సార్ ఎందుకు నీ వెంట పడుతున్నాడు?
వాళ్ళ డబ్బులు కోట్లు 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 నా దగ్గర ఉందంట.
now get in there because Poland have fully regrouped.
I love it. I love the decision here by Poland and now Denmark doing exactly what you're talking about. This is really heady stuff that you're
अबे
seeing.
बाहर निकलो बे.
This is going to be a great opportunity for Denmark as well to claim a much needed win here at 35 points. Could skyrocket up the leaderboard. Few knocks being exchanged. Shen actually cleaned up by Japan, who's got Goni and Fevin. Two players left, and they're able to combine there to find that kill. Malaysia swinging around the outside, but they have not much to work with here. I don't know where they go. This is
मलेशिया बहुत जाने वाला लग रहा है मेरे को. ज़्यादा वो नहीं लग रहा है.
This is so hard.
एक गिरा. नहीं गिरा. एक गिरा.
Michael will get the first
अबे टीम. अबे यार ये तो किल ले सकते थे इंडिया.
He's all gillied up, but there's no bushes indoors.
इंडिया पे स्लैम हुआ.
Elsewhere will get a knock into Fevin from Japan.
Nice.
And here
Nice.
we
साथ भाई भी knock हो गया.
Indonesia full send in on top of India. India managed to find one. The players are falling left, right circle. Trick with the angle on the side. He's going to pull a pin on a nade to see if he can flush out another one or two of these Indian players. But there's still three up. Another side. Oh my God, the Panzer doesn't connect. And Beamy just about gets out of there with his life.
Ooh, squeaky bum time for Beamy as he is able to avoid disaster. Looked like he had a great opportunity. Some more util being sent. Oh, Trick, you bad man. He's going to put the C4 onto the car. Is this going to be... Is this just a suicide mission here? What is he doing? Oh, this is so dangerous. Doesn't have enough momentum. Well, it's going to stop short. Trick's got to get out of there so he doesn't get taken down with the vehicle. He's actually taken out by Vard. Nice attempt, but just could not get that car going.
Oh, the captain didn't go down with a ship, but for UK,
come on, nice.
Is qualification potential right
Arre, blue
here.
zone.
Hard. He's going to get a knock and a flush.
India out.
Another kill. 10 for the UK as India, Poland, all going head to head. Denmark
revive kar raha boys.
As well. All of these teams in desperate need of points as Beamy will find Pufa. Another one on the board for them. Denmark only 2 kills, but is it enough? Even with the chicken dinner, their points potential is nowhere near the same level of somebody as the UK. And Poland now, they are backs to the wall. 54 points for them as well. They need these points as much as everybody else.
Oh, this is so smart.
Bhai, UK क्या फायदा उठा लिया
bicycle. Can't be open, but Ketter gets Marsalek after he got the knock on to Beamy. Cappy there to clean up the point to at least guarantee it, but Dofi is taking
India.
Cappy and Poland down. Hope for Denmark. The UK trying to finish off India. Michael. Oh, that's the full auto Mark 14. You love to see that. Karkur around the edge. Great timing there. Takes down Fex. Looking to do more damage here. Bard throwing the util. Hitting about half health onto his opponent. Looking for a little bit more, and that's good. Around the outside. And UK has 12 kills.
The bark of the MK is almost as dangerous as its bite.
Michael
will get money shots on the board. Denmark and the UK. Denmark are now on 44 points. They can get
ये fourth match है, fifth match में आएगा bro, fifth.
7-8 more points on the board, which put them into the 50s, which really does bring them into the dance of the fight, as this is a real chance for Denmark now. But in a 3v3, look at T-Bone. Have you seen the position he's gotten himself into, Paper?
about it. I think T-Bone has made a little bit of noise up there. I mean, that's 2 Mark 14s that the UK is rocking, by the way. That's going to be in the back of your mind as Denmark probably put a little bit of fear into you, thinking about trying to go for any aggressive maneuvers or positionings. But I think both teams have decided, okay, we've accomplished step 1. That's dealing with the teams that were in the compound.
अरे ऐसे ही होता है,
Phase 7.
ऐसे ही
There's
होता
one more
fight.
phase to go. Maybe we can just wait this out. If we get
3-4
lucky,
team
somebody
भाई.
gives us a knock, then that changes the calculus for sure. But until then, play it safe. Don't give anything up for free. Let's see what this last circle gives us and then work from there.
Yeah, look, T-Bone's fallen back. He's realized the risk is not worth the reward in a situation like that. So they're closer to the center of the
ये देखो
circle.
ना,
You've got the hard cover.
यहाँ
UK,
लिखा हुआ है साफ
no,
साफ.
Denmark have to come this way. We
Match
saw the
5.
utility for Denmark a little while earlier. I think they've only got 3 nades between the team, which could be something worth keeping an eye on. Now, Gustav, a teammate of some of these players, remember, this is something I love about PNC, is seeing teammates go head-to-head. He is on the south side. And look at that circle shift. Now,
Yes,
Denmark
better than
really need
previous,
to pull a
तो
rabbit out of the
बिल्कुल.
hat if they want to get a win here.
Yeah, the center of the circle looking like it's going to be rather close to Vard's position at the fence line. Saw an AWM floating around there. That could be a difference maker for Denmark, getting that quick knock. But you know that there's going to be level 3 gear, so might take more than one bullet to get Ketter to get himself that quick knock. Gustav trying to do some damage, but Vard gets the better of him.
1k times better
So
than
Vard
previous
didn't let loose with a grenade. Oh boy,
इस बार
that
तो
is
मार रहे कम
dangerous
से
there.
कम. देखो अभी भी नहीं, अभी भी टीम थोड़ा सा पैसिव खेल रही है, मेरे को लग रहा है. बाकी उनके दिमाग में क्या चल रहा है मेरे को नहीं मालूम. बट हाँ, जब भी फाइट हो रहा है एकदम बहुत ज्यादा क्योटिक फाइट हो जा रहा है. इतना क्योस तो भाई मैं भी नहीं झेल पाऊँ. बिल्कुल भी नहीं. एक नॉक कर तो बहुत होगा मेरे लिए इतना क्योस में. अपने लौंडे तो किल भी कर रहे हैं.
This could be the play now. They've kept the C4 at the ready. Are they going to take advantage? Duffy is the captain. Gonna no. Turn, get through the Duffy, you are running this so fine. The ticks are getting quicker and quicker and quicker. Here we go, Paper, and he's gonna just go down himself.
Oh, he almost got Vard. Vard on 1 HP after that.
क्या
So
भंड था क्या
now he's
Duffy?
gonna have enough time to get the first aid to go. It's a valiant attempt, but the UK had enough room to move on the outside. The shot comes through, it lands. But that level 3 gear going to absorb that, not give the knock over to Ketter. It will open up the space for him to make the move, though. Has the AUG in the back pocket.
नहीं, उसका ट्रक जो टकराया दूसरे ट्रक में,
from the UK,
उसका बस जो टकराया.
Information around the corner. Gustav going to join him. Denmark has control of the center of the circle, potentially.
I think that this is not done yet. There's still flash grenades, but look, UK are just farming utility off of all of the crates because you've got all the Indian utility that's in this position. You've got all the utility you brought yourself. It is going to take a monumental play from Denmark. Now, T-Bone is wrapping around the edge. If Ketter's heard it. Ketter knows that T-Bone is wrapping around this side. Now, if he peeks at the right time, you could get that opening knock, but look, T-Bone knows exactly where he is. Stun grenades being thrown. Gustav is trying to cover the push on the other side, but Denmark need to make something happen here, Paper, because all the cards look like they're in UK's favor.
The center dot is on the other side of this fence, so Vard actually has a great angle to hold here from that window, where Denmark might have to make a move through those choke points before they can do anything about it, before the blue gives them an opportunity. Oh, Ketter, huge one there on the T-Bone.
नहीं.
Oh, Gustav, the molly is going to be good from Vard. It leaves it all down to Ketter. Get your point, get it on the board. Swing around the side. This game is here for you to take. He peeks around. Both players are weak, but the MK gets full auto. Ketter does a ton of damage, but it's 1 HP. And Michael, he's not going to risk it for the biscuit just yet. Stumnade tossed up over the edge. Ketter, though, the MK is going to get it done, and UK secure their spot into the grand finals.
Yeah, it looks that way. Nice game there for the UK. Tough situation, having to fight against an even Denmark squad with the 3v3. They are able to get it done. My goodness, that was a fantastic one. So many cool decisions being made there. So many awesome fights that had to be taken in those compounds. That's a fun circle. I like where that one ended.
Yeah, it was was fun to watch, and you know what? In another words, they get the vehicle turned in time, and that C4 completely changed.
भाई हमारे लड़कों को इतना दिक्कत हो रहा वहाँ फाइट करना, सोचो भाई वो लोग हम लोग को तो ऐसे मतलब झटके में वाइप कर देते हैं, वहाँ पे इनको इतना दिक्कत हो रहा, हम लोग गलती से वहाँ पहुँच गए खेलने के लिए तो क्या होगा हमारे साथ, इवापोरेट हो जाएंगे अपन तो.
But they get the job done.
Lobby's just too good. I mean, there's so many good teams. And again, everybody is really giving it their best here in the survival stage. So, huge props to Team UK.
अभी ब्रेक होगा लंबा, है ना, अभी ब्रेक होगा क्योंकि हर 2 मैच के बाद थोड़ा लंबा ब्रेक हो रहा है. कल तो और क्योस होगा, कल से तो 3 दिन भयंकर क्योस होगा. कल देखेंगे, कल भी क्या बोलते हो गाइस? इन केस अगर टीम इंडिया बाहर हो जाती है, जो कि हुई नहीं है, नहीं भाई कल भी देखेंगे भाई, टीम इंडिया जीतेगी, आगे जाएगी. रुको, हमें चाहिए 70 पॉइंट चाहिए, 37 हुआ है, 2 गेम बाकी है, हो सकता है. ये देख लेना, देखेंगे अपन, देखेंगे. दिक्कत वो है कि अभी बारिश का सीन हो रहा है ना, जैसे आज मेरा लाइटनिंग हुआ था तो भाई जैसे मतलब पावर नहीं था, जैसे करके सेकंड मैच से पावर आ गया, ठीक है, मैनेज हो गया. ये वाला किल कंफर्म नहीं हुआ था, ये जो नॉक किया था रुपेश ने, पैक्स को जो नॉक किया था. देखा, प्रो प्लेयर्स भी क्लोज रेंज में एम यूज नहीं करते हैं. एम होता है ना, एक एडीएस के अलावा एक और एम ऑप्शन होता है ना, जैसे उसने 3x लगाया तो 3x पे स्प्रे करा उसने एम यूज नहीं किया इतना क्लोज रेंज में. होप फॉर द बेस्ट, पावर है लो. गाइस ब्रेक लेते हैं थोड़ा, मैं भी थोड़ा आता हूँ टहल वहल के, बहुत देर बैठ लिया ना. ये देखो ये बता रहा आपको, ये 8 टीम है जो पिछले साल की टॉप 8 टीम थी. कोरिया, अर्जेंटीना, ऑस्ट्रेलिया, ब्राज़ील, फिर यूएसए आएगा सर, अच्छा चाइना, थाईलैंड, यूएसए और एक टीम आएगा वियतनाम. ये 4 टीम या 8 टीम्स ऑलरेडी हैं फाइनल्स में. चलो गाइस, मैं अभी आता हूँ, थोड़ा सा कुछ काम निकाल के. अभी 2 मैचेस हैं, देखते हैं क्या होता है.
To sit is to progress. Sit is.
스펙스 BMX 팀 유소년 선수 김한결이라고 합니다. 어릴 때부터 자전거 타는 걸 진짜 좋아해서 지금은 본격적으로 선수 생활을 하고 있어요. 처음 경기장에서 BMX 레이싱 선수들의 경기를 보고 와 진짜 멋있다라는 생각이 들어서 본격적으로 시작하게 된 것 같아요. 스포츠는 나 자신과의 싸움인 것 같아요. 어제보다 발전하기 위해 계속 도전하게 되는 것이 스포츠인 것 같아요. 내가 과연 유망주인가? 책임감 있게 행동해야겠다라는 생각도 들어요. 가장 큰 원동력은 더 잘하고 싶다는 욕심인 것 같아요. 저를 계속 도전하게 만들어요. 저에게 스포츠는 도전이에요. 넘어져도 다시 일어서면 된다는 것. 실패가 아닌 새로운 시작이 기다리고 있어요.
grand finals for PNC. A win for the UK in the last map has secured their spot in the finals, but there's still so many teams living on the bubble.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't wait to see what these last two games have in store for us as we get our man of the match. It's Vard. We're hard for Vard. He has 8 kills, 800 damage. That is a tremendous effort, and what a showing that he has brought to the stage for the UK. The man, I mean, we saw some pretty cool moments from him yesterday, but today he has really stepped up.
Well, he recently secured that big move, right? He left foot, he joined FaZe. I spoke to T-Bone about it, and T-Bone was upset because he said, well, he was happy for him too because it's his friend, but he's like, Vard is playing the best PUBG of his life, and yes, he's had yesterday, but this is Vard at his best, and this is what they've gone for. And they were able to ride that dominance from Vard to get the win when they needed it most.
I'm very happy that I switched him onto my fantasy team today. That's all I'm going to say.
I kept him.
25 points for the UK. Big statement game from them. Denmark able to get 11. It's starting to look dire for Denmark. They need more. They need 2 huge Miramars, and every other team that's in their way has just been kind of doing enough here to give themselves hope as well. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. 10 for Poland, not too far behind Denmark. As we look at the total leaderboard, yes, Denmark in 11, but 10 points ahead of them are Poland. And you're
2 मैचेस बाकी है
14
कितने
points out of
चाहिए
8th, where Canada
60
sits.
There's a chance. Like, this is the thing. At the start of today, they needed a big day. Now, thankfully for them, a lot of the teams that are at the top have continued to dominate and get loads of
20
points.
पॉइंट से ज्यादा 30 पॉइंट होना है 2 मैच में.
That if anybody slips up and they get a win, like if they win the next game, if they get 20 points, look at the position they find themselves in. And that's what you and I wanted. When we were talking about this before the event, we were like, we want to go into the last map and have lots of teams in with a chance of qualification. And all I'm going to say is it would be a shame if Denmark don't make it, but any team that qualifies out of this survival stage deserve to be there.
Yeah, for sure. So some work to be done here for teams like Poland. Marsalek's got the sleeves rolled up, and he's letting the camera know that he's engaged, he's ready to go. As it's Miramar, our final 2 maps here to close out the survival stage of PNC 2025. What do the Dusty Dunes have in store for us? We are about to find out.
Death, destruction, and maybe delivering of dreams to some of these players, if you want to keep the alliteration going on that one. But this is the final furlong. The last 2 maps, Miramar to get it done. As we just take that lovely panoramic view of resorts. You know what? It almost looks too nice to be on Miramar, doesn't it, resort?
It does, actually. It is by far the nicest buildings, the most gentrified buildings we have on the map. Seen a few circles in there at PGS, so wouldn't mind seeing a few more. It's got some fun stuff to work with. Of course, you can check out some of the team's POVs as we get a very southern plane path right over Los Leones, the northern side, over towards the islands out there on the east. And who knows what this game is going to have in store for us, but certainly eyes towards the center of that. And also, my eyes also going towards France and Germany, who I thought were kind of okay for today, but they haven't really put up many points. So all of a sudden, they're in a spot where they need, like, 4 or 5 points per game here to really feel comfortable. That sounds easy, but with the way things have been going, it's not.
I think teams have counter-stratted the way France have played a little bit. They know they like to play on the edge with 2-2 splits on the side of the circle where there's least traffic. And teams are like, well, let's take them head on. Let's not give them that opportunity. And that's kind of what happened. But you look else around the map, we saw some resort in the pre-game. It's going to be, there's a good chance it's going to be inside the circle. And it's not, because I spoke about 2 seconds too soon. But look, I want to point out something. If you're looking at your map on the very western side, Chinese Taipei were the first team off the plane. They're right on the bubble as things stand in 7th place. With the circle being what it is, Jia Wei and the rest of the team can rotate way up to the... We'll pick up it later, because we got to fight.
What in the world is going on here? Denmark and Turkey. It's Schilla with a UMP. Gustav, oh boy. He needs to get a move on, and it looks like he just barely got out of there in time. Schilla went for the tire. Has another opportunity, another go. Connection's not found, and it looks like it's going to be an escape for Gustav.
Yeah, he's going to get out of there, and I think he just read the situation right. But back to my point, with the circle being what it is, if you do have the map feed open at home, !map, if you do have a second screen available to keep an eye, Chinese Taipei, with the flight path we have a brilliant opportunity to take the north side of the circle if they wrap way up to the north, because it's really difficult for a lot of these teams to push so far north, and you know that because of the drop spots, a lot of teams are going to get bogged down in potential rotates with some players maybe falling left, right, and center. So this is a really good opportunity for Chinese Taipei, at least at the early stage of this game.
I'm right there with you, and that would be my expectation for Chinese Taipei, given their play style, given their understanding of the game. that they try to go for something a little bit safer, sitting in 7th place. Not a safe position at all in terms of the leaderboard. Indonesia, they are plenty fine. They are having a whale of a time. I mean, 107 points, getting triple digits already, looking great. What else can you say? Japan struggling, 25 points for them. They want to surpass last year, but it doesn't look like that is going to be the case. It's basically impossible. It's not basically. It is impossible for them to get through into our final stage. So, not the year we wanted to see from our Japanese representatives.
It's not the year they would have wanted to see, and what upsets me about this is I'm a big softie at heart.
ये तीनों चले गए घर को मलेशिया जापान स्पेन
The thing is, somebody has to come last, right? Somebody has to do it. Japan and the passion that they
इंडिया का अभी चांस तो
the eccentricity of how fun they can be.
है मतलब 30 पॉइंट मतलब 2 ही डिनर कर गया तो
But you know what?
जीत
Again,
जाते
get a couple of clips, have a few moments, and maybe we might be about to see another moment for Algin Bots, and of course he delivers. Yeah,
Wow.
why not? This guy
क्या मारा
is a highlight reel.
That was filthy clean. M4 sprays, quick and efficient, and that is disaster for Poland here early. They are
Nice.
trying to find a
हमको
way
भी वही
to
चाहिए
get out of this.
अभी जितने भी ये है ना कनाडा स्वीडन पोलैंड डेनमार्क टर्की ये सब मरेगा तो हम ऊपर जाएगा ऐसा है
Nothing to lose. They're playing with house money at this point, so that's an easy decision for them to just go for it, and that is going to be painful. Down to 2 players already for Poland and sitting at 55 points. They needed this to start differently. Germany, another team that I think thinking about a similar idea to what you were talking about before with Chinese Taipei. Go for that wide wrap around the north. Look for that open space.
Yeah, and they know they're probably following their footpath as well. You know, their footsteps on the way in. And, you know, I think for them, they're in a good position, not a great position. There's 2 teams behind them, but a couple of kills for either.
असली मजा कल आएगा प्रो सब देखते हैं ना
You look at like some things as well. I want to talk about how good Philippines have been.
जी कॉइन चाहिए तो ये ओपन करके PUBG स्पोर्ट्स पे जाके लॉग इन करके न्यूज़ पे जाओ उसके बाद इधर फर्स्ट वाला डे 2 का प्रेस करो तो ऐसा ओपन हो जाएगा इधर ही टाइप करना है कोड इधर टाइप करे तो डायरेक्ट अकाउंट पे जाता है ऐसा
pleasure of seeing him play. He's played at a PGC before in 2021. He's done well at a lot of the PCS APACs. So he came up and talked to me a little bit before the event started. Had a lot of confidence, and it is shining. He is a bright star for the Philippines as India just trading some shots back and forth. No real damage done there. Algenbots again making a bit of a move here as the Philippines just driving around. I think just looking for targets.
Top 4 pin मिलेगा अभी कोड.
For anybody they run into, Turkey is like, yo, we still got something to work on here. So can you please not? Can you just not?
It's the thing, right? Philippines have earned the right to play whatever way they want to in the last 2 games, but the rest of the team's like, please just play the way you've been doing, you know. But it's them. They're fun. And as our observers pointing out, we now see a team that's trapped in the mud. Yes, you've got a compound, but all your vehicles have lost at least 2 tires plus, so you're essentially stuck in that position until either you leave.
It's not an ideal spot to be in, to say the least. Kantara, though, going to be the home for a couple of the Turkey players. India, Karku stuck behind his Murado here. Not sure if this is intentional or not. He's got a dip, and he should be able to find the ability to maneuver on out of there, and will do so. Malaysia coming in late, but no problems here that we can see on the map. There's not really anybody super close to them until you get up towards Spain and the UK, closer to the Kantara crater.
Else delivers vehicles to you in the form of a crash.
Always finding fights early, whether intentional or not. I'd like to see them just kind of slow it down a bit, try to play for a win.
ये क्या है?
Yeah, I'm looking elsewhere like as well. Indonesia, they're going to play for the win as well because they see this is great opportunity to really hone your skills in. but they're going to run right into Zerath, who, by the way, is LFT, and he's played pretty well at times for Germany over the course of this one. He takes a ton of damage from Teddy, and it's Setsuna that will get the job done as he gets the knock, and Teddy with a great nade flush. You know what, people usually
grade
like,
ka
oh,
accuracy
they want to bring a
nade
teddy
ka.
bear to bed. Teddy's been putting people to bed all day long.
Yeah, it's true. That's very true. He has been nightmare fuel for a lot of these squads. Simoy letting loose now with some util of his own, and oh, it's Chris, 1 HP, literally. Trying to go for the first aid in the smoke. There was a molly that followed up. I'm not sure if it landed actually in that smoke that he almost put his feet into. Teddy, though, just going to drive this. I mean, again, another team playing with house money, and they know it. Oh, no, it's Chris. Can't escape on the motorcycle. Germany crumbling.
Teddy just swimming in all the points he's been able to gather for his team all event long. And Germany, with just 2 players left alive, will try to salvage something out of this game. T-Bone getting a knock for Team UK, and that knock would have meant a lot more in the last map than this one, because they're now in a pretty safe and secure spot. But as you do, you pick up your teammate, you get him in the back of the Murado, and you move on and get him rezzed, because a lot of people ask how long that first knock phase. It's 2 minutes. That's long. That's an eternity.
It really is. And you know, when you're out in a field like that, no way you want to stick the res out there. So really nice to be able to have that option, to be able to put players in cars, to get them to safety, to keep them in the fight. Spain is going to see this, take some shots at Empty, but Empty just going to park the car inside of the cement compound, and the res, I'm going to assume, should be doable here. Oh no, what happened to Savior?
Well, it could be an important point for France here, and it is. They needed that. A couple of substandard games for them, and now got them in a good spot. As we look at our Miramar flashback to what we've had over the yesterday.
अच्छा खेलेगा Miramar पे.
This is where Philippines really rocketed their day. Indonesia up there as well. Turkey with 23. They need that. Like, they need that on a map, not even in Miramar at all, because 23 points for them at 40 will not be enough to qualify.
Yeah, well, they do get a point there. 10 Trip gone. He was really the superstar for the Philippines on this map, and he's out early. Not that they're too plussed about that. It should be A-okay, but Turkey needs those points like you were talking about.
Backstab हो रहा है क्या?
Now, Code Marco looking back in another direction.
India को.
Here's a replay.
Oh, no way.
This is no freaking way, dude.
Is this the Murado?
Please tell me he just stops. Okay, Shen had already gotten hit. Oh, he hit the heady. Oh, my. Oh, Tebow.
Haka.
He's nasty, right?
Dude, he is.
And he's so soft-spoken when you meet him as well. Like, you wouldn't know the guy as a menace inside the server if you were to speak to him.
That's true. He is a very kind of mild-mannered dude, but he is scary in PUBG. And that was filthy stuff right there. Yeah, Shen already weak, but still, he hit the heading and he hit a follow-up. Not the easiest shot to do, to say the least. Buzzface, though. Calves, oh no. Calves had no idea that this is desperately needed points for Sweden. Another team that is on the cusp and moved themselves up into eighth with that one.
Yeah, big point for Sweden, and Philippines down to 2 from this point on. And Sweden will know that, and they know they need the points as much as anybody. Turkey, they've got Karku in their Crossberg. Time it. He's just waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike, but Marco's wrapping around the other side, so really Crossberg is just being a conduit of information for his team. Oh, Poland are going to bring themselves back, but do you want to know something funny about T-Bone, actually?
What's that?
He didn't name the who, but he's staying in his own place. Do you know why? One of his teammates snores incredibly loudly.
Oh, I'm not his teammate. I snore incredibly loud, so I was like, is that me?
You're going to wake up and say, oh, I'm Team UK, that's right. Why are you here? Get back on the stage.
T-Bone, get out of my house.
अबे घर छोड़ दिया compound.
No, that is funny. I respect that decision, because I am the same, where I can't sleep if somebody's snoring, and I don't want to put someone through being in the same room as me to suffer through. There's that trap. There's that trap. Nicely done by Marco there with a Dragunov headshot.
Headshot लग गया भाई. अबे
Sweden and Philippines down to 2. see a P90 in their hands. And, you know, I just saw the P90 level. You know what I've just realized? I don't think we've seen a single BRDM today.
Not that I remember. I don't think we've seen a P90 kill today either.
No. It's been, what in the PUBG is going on?
I'm not sure. It has kind of been a little bit of a different day today. The C4s haven't really worked. It's been kind of just getting it done with the normal stuff. I mean, recalls are still mega important in this. Malaysia setting up with an emergency pickup for themselves. Canada looking for a pre-rotation. Malaysia, let's see what they want to do. Truck stop is actually available. Some of the high ground to the north of it there for the taking. Canada stops on the edge. Going to be satisfied with this compound. Going to be satisfied with the hillside in front of them to maybe play through. A little bit of revenge here attempted by India. So far, not good. Shilla, though, SKS on the side, takes a bunch of damage, has to prone down. Oh, he's actually going to re-peek on this. He's got a little bit of help now. Oh, Karku.
Yeah, 1 HP, but Marco, he's in position. He'll find Ryzen in the P90. Is not going to sing out a song with this map. Marco spots another. He takes a ton of damage, but Marco gets another one. He's down to 4 HP. And a dream now. But for India, it's all down to Shatbai. He's going to smoke things off, but he is down. Turkey, they needed to get things going, and they've got 5 kills in the opening 15 minutes. And elsewhere, Denmark, a team who need points, they get the early knock on Team UK. Denmark need these. They need to clean this up, and they need to keep everybody alive.
Hard. So devastating on Rondo.
Nobody cares until you play good, bro.
Denmark, who he's going to be facing. This time around, though, Denmark able to get that early advantage, taking Fex out. Gustav trying to figure out where exactly the UK has repositioned to. T-Bone decides, well, maybe again, I saw it earlier, that seems to be his role on this squad, so looking to do that. Brex actually got the knock, but Master able to get onto the ground there, so he didn't die. You know, if you're high enough up, there's no hope. You're just dead if you get shot out of the sky, but it was low enough. But still, Mika knows it. He wants to go for the flush.
They're by themselves, though. The rest of Poland are way too far away to help in any way, shape, or form. So this is just down to Cappy to try to hold back all of Germany. He doesn't even have a sight. He level 1 vest, level 1 helmet. They were brought back by the recall system, and they just never had a chance against Germany. And those are vital points for them, as they will now go, or should now be, in 5th place, actually level with France now. But for Germany, they've secured truck stop to themselves, and that could be big for them. Elsewhere, though, have a look. Indonesia still having fun and just knocking. Like what? Who? Like Teddy is insane.
This is again the best I've seen from these boys, and they are not letting go. They know that they've got some momentum, and they want to keep it up. They want to keep it into those grand finals. Code Marco did scoop up that P90 that he claimed off of India. Some shots from Spain into Shin. He is weak. Joshi has to throw a smoke to try to bail him out. Puba, no hope there. P90 and an AUG. You're not getting through that. Now, Marslek was way ahead of this, so for Poland, you still have 1 player left, and he's going to try to rat his way through. Turkey continuing to just ruin Team States, but the point got stolen. Around the corner, Shilla just barely winning it. 4 HP left. He's got a point. 7 kills now for Turkey.
And that could be 8, but it was Sweden that are getting their attention turned to now. I think Denmark stole 1 away. Shilla, though, caught going for the man as Mome will get the instant knock and flush. And here comes Marco. He's coming in like a storm. P90 in his hand, but Mome will throw the nade behind himself, and Fuzzface gets the knock onto Marco. This is big for Sweden. They desperately need every point they can find, and this should be another one unless the rest of Turkey can get here in the blink of an eye. You can see the pressure coming on. Mome still alive, 19 HP, but eventually he falls. And for Turkey, they're finding more and more kills, but do they have a recall system anywhere close enough? Because what it's pulled off is big moments for Turkey and Sweden.
Off screen, France is losing players like crazy. That's not great for them. UK repositioning. Germany trying to hold down the truck stop. They do a little bit of damage, but no knocks found. Mika trying to find a different angle. Norway here trying to eliminate a team that's well behind them on the leaderboard, a team that needs to survive, that needs those extra points just to feel comfortable. James going for the reload, going for a re-peek. Sky out there. He's the last one up for France. This is not great for them. He's also got to try to find ways to either get this res or play for salvage. Looks like he's going to opt to go for the res, and not much Norway can do about it. Now Malaysia right underneath to the south, and they have set up shop.
Oh, where do they go?
Oh, France.
Yeah, they're going right in towards a trap as the vehicle for Turkey is about to blow as well. Adam getting an important knock for Canada, and Canada picking up 2 more points of their own as Chinese Taipei are going to go level on points with Canada now, and they are really pushing with just this and one more map to go. Norway pushing towards it. Norway I was about to say Norway could be the biggest ally for France, but that's another point for Denmark this time around. And just as Canada gets some points on the board, Chinese Taipei will get one of their own.
This is going to be intense. Everybody knows how important every kill is. So they are committing. They are going for it. Shen sees Norway out on the horizon. Philippines just trying to get through. They've been taking a little bit of damage. Sweden has been eliminated off screen. Leo actually has a Lynx there. Got a knock onto Algenbots. CJ on his last legs has to try to throw some smokes out, stands up, pays the price. High man there. Norway wipes out the Philippines and looks to go for this res.
Yeah, 3 teams inside a truck stop as the circle goes to Indonesia. Spain with a great spot towards the south as they could have their first really good game since way back on Erangel yesterday. But it's Canada that will likely push that way. Malaysia now, they are surrounded by Norway to the north and Denmark to the south as they are the filling in a Scandinavian sandwich as Malaysia just look to battle. 14th place for them. They're playing for pride at this point, and they would love to do some real damage now. But they're also looking inwards. They're looking towards Chinese Taipei as well, as Shen unloads a volley of rounds towards He-Man.
Man, if Malaysia had another frag grenade, I think they could have gotten at least 2 knocks, but they just don't have any available. So instead, it's just going to be Norway able to get the heals through to recoup, regroup. Canada, in the meantime, did get Adam back on his feet. What a day Adam has had. Man of the match earlier on Erangel. Got those 2 big kills onto Turkey. Norway now driving into the truck stop. Will this be their last stop? Rex on the roof. He takes some damage in exchange. Grenade being cooked. Takes a peek over.
This is genius.
Let's loose. Oh, he couldn't get Intense though. Intense gets through and the grenade just misses the mark and he's down.
Oh, I thought that nade was perfect. He read the rotate, but he just didn't cook it long enough. And now Canada under severe pressure. I saw that it was Denmark that got a knock as Ketter will get the flush onto Finna. Denmark's story at PNC might not just be finished yet as Japan will fall. 10 teams left alive, 30 players, but Chinese Taipei are bleeding. They're burnt. They get knocked. They're down and out inside 7th place. Now Canada, can they outlive? Can they survive long enough? That's a big nade from Adam. He gets another nade, another knock. They're pushing on to Spain, and this is a huge opportunity. But Denmark with a backstab. Beamy will get 2, and Canada getting torn asunder, and they are out.
What a play from Denmark, knowing that Canada ahead of them was a threat. They needed to wipe them out to continue their hopes of getting through to the final stage. And I know Avenger's got to be pumping his fist back there, backstage. And here you go, Spain up ahead. Denmark has to know that they have a great opportunity to wipe them out and take firm control of the southern side of this circle to themselves. So they are on the hunt, they are on the move. A little bit of leapfrog here. Gustav doing a little bit of recon, saying, hey, Dofi, I know this hillside in front of me is open. You can drive up there. I've got the cover. You go ahead, and we'll keep making our way forward. Now, there are some Indonesia players. They're getting a little bit curious about what's going on down there, but they haven't really committed too much. Aberfac gonna just chill behind this hill, wait things out, listen for those sound cues.
And the thing is, Indonesia know who these 2 teams are as well, and they can pick and choose who to help and punish in a situation like this one. Teddy, though, he is on his way. The circle goes Indonesia. There's only 2 players in this circle as things stand, and now we're seeing damage being dealt. Duffy with the flash grenade. It's going to stun him just a little bit as Arbafac will run around the edge of the blue, but you're running towards Shadow, who has Teddy crawling, creeping this way. And this is a big, big moment. 9 kills now for Denmark as they are grabbing this lobby, this opportunity. They might just be going into the final game today with a huge chance of qualification if they can just eke out a couple more points.
Oh, Teddy the Terror about to strike behind Spain. They were doing such a nice job here fending off this push from Denmark. Denmark decides that the better option is to go the other way, and it's actually Trick who finds the angle onto Abra, and he is gone. And Shadow Eco, yeah, not long behind his teammate. And this is devastating there for Spain. Indonesia, 9 kills in this one. Great positioning in the center of the circle if they want. Instead, they're going to take fights. They're going to square right up against Denmark and say, we're going to go head-to-head. If you're going to get through to that final stage, you got to go through us.
Yeah, and you don't want center of the circle either because of all the terrain above it, giving everyone an advantage. So Indonesia reading the circle brilliantly. But for Denmark, this could be their PNC dreams right here, right now. I would love to give a penny for Avengers' thoughts about the circle and about his team's chances right now. Elsewhere, Poland, Marsalek is still alive, still picking up vital points for his team, but he's got to move into the circle now soon. But Denmark right up now, front and close and personal with 3 men of Indonesia.
A single knock, one way or another, could change Denmark's destiny. Beamy, gonna be that point man. That is his job on Team Denmark. He wants to be the tip of the spear, try to break things open for them, and then open up the doors for Ketter, Gustav, and his teammates to do some other damage. Meanwhile, on the backside, oh, actually, Setsuna takes that kill. Marsalek needed that point so bad for Poland, couldn't get it in time. Indonesia, though, seemingly sussed out by Denmark, so they feel comfortable enough to go for some grenades, but they actually missed the mark quite wide. It's a bit of a misread here for Denmark, wasting some valuable utility.
Yeah, Marsalek's position is known now by the Danes as well. As Setsuna's just going insane over on the other side of the circle. IAMP is going to do some cleanup work, but that'll be Setsuna again with another knock, and it's IAMP that will fall. Denmark, though, finally look like they're locking horns for now, but they've fallen back. The ridgeline is just too open to step up over it, and the players are too good that you know if you expose yourself, you are going to get knocked. But look at Trick trying to creep around the low ground, and look at that circle shift as well.
Oh, nobody's in it. Literally nobody's in this next circle. Marsalek on the backside here could be a thorn in Denmark's side in a potential fight. You know he's licking his lips. If there's a knock on Denmark, he might just spring into action. There's Malaysia above Marsalek as well, so that could be kind of a domino effect where takes that kill. Marsalek needed that point so bad for Poland. Lost out by Denmark, so they feel comfortable enough to go for some grenades, but utility.
Going insane over on the other side of the circle. IAMP is going to do some cleanup work, but that'll be Setsuna again with another knock, and it's IAMP that will fall. Denmark, though, finally look like they're locking horns for now, but they've fallen back. The ridgeline is just too open to step up over it, and the players are too good that you know if you expose yourself, you are going to get knocked. But look at Trick trying to creep around. To make this push as well. Marsalek out in the open. Can Ketter get it done? Ketter will find that one. It's another point for Denmark as they hit 10, and they are now up to 60 points. They really are now in with as good a chance as they could possibly get to qualify to the finals. Malaysia, 3 kills on the board here, and they've pulled off. And look, Denmark are on the move again.
Oh, look who strikes from behind, though. It's Teddy. It was a grenade from Setsuna that opens things up here. Nice game, though, as Malaysia has been wiped out. Beamy and Gustav gonna combine for that, but Teddy is going to get the finish onto Beamy. Just Gustav, the only one alive now for Denmark. It's a 1v4. Can Gustav do the unthinkable here? Simoy right up close and personal, and oh, he's just dead to rights. He has no idea. Indonesia takes the game away.
Well, even a Great Dane can be put on a leash from time to time, and it's Indonesia that are able to get the kill onto Gustav and get that game done. The rich keep on getting richer, but for Denmark, they are going into that last map, and they know qualification can be there and can be grabbed but so do about 5 other teams at this point.
It is going to be absolutely wild going into this final map. I cannot wait. It has so much on the line here for so many teams, so many different moments that could have gone one way or another. What a brilliant game from Denmark overall. I mean, really fighting when they needed to, when they could take good fights. I don't know what you're going to do against Indonesia. They're just way too good right now to seemingly be stopped by anybody. Man, I thought for a moment there Denmark might be able to get it done, but yeah, that reposition at the end from Indonesia saying, nope, we're taking the win. Too bad, so sad.
Yeah, Indonesia have just played a blinder. Like, they've been so good. Their point tally is insane. And, like, Teddy is playing so well. This is a flashback to T-Bone's brilliant knock on the shed. The headshot followed up by the body shot. Sweden picked up a couple of points that keeps them inside of contention here as well. There was the fight alongside of Turkey when Mome was able to pick up a kill or two for themselves. And, you know, Turkey, they started that map so strong, but they got snuffed out just as quickly as they were putting points on the board.
No kidding, no kidding. There was some hope here as well for Turkey, but Sweden had other ideas. Buzzface with this off angle doing quite a bit of damage, even though, you know, they're kind of able to win the fight. Disaster struck for Chinese Taipei. They ran into the buzzsaw that is Indonesia, and they got cut down. Canada as well got struck from behind. It looked like maybe they were going to accelerate in this game, give themselves a really clean result to find some good footing, but Beamy had other ideas.
Yeah, you could see the player camp there as well. Like, Finna just had to, like, what are we supposed to do? You know, is it hands up in the air? But they have got as good a chance as all these teams. They're in the top 8, I believe. Denmark, though, really closed that gap. Gustav fell. Denmark got in 9th place. They started today right down at the bottom of this leaderboard. Not at the very bottom, but down there. And they are now so close. And look up above your head. Look who's walking by. He's going to be Martin Avengers just walking by the casting desk, and he is going to be feeling good going into this last game.
And he points to the jersey, says, yeah, Denmark, doable, you'd say? Oh yeah, 2 points, easy?
Yeah.
Love to see it. What an effort they put in, though. You have to be impressed, but still, work to be done. There's still one more map. There's still one more game. Anything is possible. That was a belter, man. That was a lot of fun.
Can you remember the last time there was this many teams in contention to qualify with one map to go? It's been a while.
Not that it's been...
Star chicken dinner Indonesia. एक भी नहीं हो रहा है इधर. देखना है या बंद करूं? बताओ.
Again, you're going to have 1 or 2 players on a team that get loads of kills, but it's not just him. Like, some of the decision making by his teammates enabled them. Like, they left an anchor on the north side of the circle in that fight with Denmark. He was like, right, I can see what's going on. Fall back, play this ridge line. You're going to be safe. They have made all the right decisions. And let's have a look at the overall match points from that one. And it'll be no surprise, Indonesia, they pick up the lion's share with 25 points. But Denmark weren't too far behind.
Back-to-back second places for Denmark. They're really in a position now where they can actually make it. You know, it seemed maybe almost unthinkable at the beginning of the day. Like you said, they were way down at the bottom of the leaderboard. Now all of a sudden, now they're like, okay, now we should be making it. Now we feel confident that we can do this. Malaysia, they're done, but making good moves here at the end, kind of starting to figure it out a little bit, giving their region something to be proud of.
ये क्यों नहीं खेल रहा है? ग्यारह मैच में 4 किल। वाह। ये भी 4 किल, ये भी 4 किल। ये 9 किल। ये अच्छा खेल रहा है। एवरेज डैमेज देखो। स्पॉन्सर होता तो ऐसा होता है। क्या ही कर लेते हैं। 40 से 63, 70 मान लो। 30 पॉइंट्स एक मैच पे, असंभव। बंद कर रहा हूँ मैं। बाय बाय।